Alright, so got a little bit of daylight here. Caught it after work here. I'm going to try to see what this little guy will do out here on the rocks. I'm not sure it's going to do a whole lot. I'm actually a little disappointed with the crawl ability of it. But let's just see what it'll do, and then we'll start getting into what we can do with this. Alright, so there she is compared to the mountainous course that I got here. I already know it's not going to be able to do all that, but let's just see what it can do. So it's got an okay crawl, I guess. I'm being really critical on this here, guys, because with the 18 the way it was, I was kind of expecting a little bit better. Which to me is still not that big of a deal because I'm going to upgrade it to brushless anyway. I already know that. Just got to figure out how and what system to put in it that will actually fit. So this is very much like the RGT that I got. It's either all or nothing on the throttle sometimes, but if you're easy with it, you can get a somewhat decent crawl sometimes. I'm going to have to back completely out of that. Wow, it just keeps wanting to kick me out. Well, there you go. Alright, well, let's try the bridge part on it. I don't want to waste too much time trying to do things with it I don't think it's going to do. But I mean, it handles the grass and stuff pretty good, which, well, I thought. That was kind of cool. Now we're getting stuck on a leaf. So I think, just like with a lot of your typical RTRs from, Chinese companies and stuff, they could come with a lot better steering systems and ESCs. So this one here is kind of no different. The ESC is really something to kind of play with a little bit. I'm trying to concentrate here at the same time, because if you go slow and just kind of feather the throttle, you'll get a decent response out of it. But you really shouldn't have to do that. I'm sorry, that's kind of unexcusable at this point. I mean, I know it's only 80 bucks, but I'd much rather see a stripped down version, like a, I don't know, kind of like a slider roller type situation, and let me put my own electronics in it. I'd be happy with that. Another thing they did that I'm really not crazy about is they gave you a 5-wire servo. Okay, 5-wire servos. They're good, but they're very specific. They use them in a lot of robotics and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I got shit all over me here. I was working with foam, spray foam at work. But they're good. They're not bad. But when you want to go to upgrade them, there's no option without switching everything over to upgrade just a simple servo. That's why I don't like them. It's not like a standard kind of thing. Everything else has the 3-wire, JR connection, that kind of thing. Utaba, JR, whatever you call that, and this doesn't, so that's a little disappointing. But without all the negatives here on the truck, let's just see what she'll do, see if she can come down here at all. I got a feeling I already know what's going to happen, but I'm going to take it as easy as I can here. It's already starting to have problems. Yep, I knew it. Wow, and she really went crazy. Okay, well, to be completely fair, the TRX 4M had the same issue. It just has a better crawl now that I've put in a better system. But if you just kind of stay on the throttle, which I'm barely on it now, it just makes that noise. Give it a little more. and eventually it'll go. So I don't know if it's just geared too high, which I've kind of read a few guys, with that suspicion, and I'm kind of in the same camp. I'm thinking maybe the gearing might be a little too high on it. We're going to look and see if there's any tricks that we can do with the gearing. Sometimes you can, switch gears out or whatever and get, something a little bit better. Now it might make it slower, but I don't really care about that. I want, functionality and drivability over that. Now this is pretty cool. It really acts like it wants to go up that. Oh, okay, we're gonna give that another shot. Because that right there, the traction struggles on. I know this is a lot smaller and everything else too, but maybe that's the trick here. See if we can get up it. Wow. Okay, did that pretty easy. I was kind of surprised. And I'm just feathering the throttle here to get it up over that rock, which is what I don't like doing. I like it to be nice and smooth. I'm just like everybody else. Yeah, you like a smooth transition, which this truck doesn't really provide that out of the box. Again, it is 80 bucks, and I do understand that. But I think for 80 bucks, I'd much rather you just throw this system in the garbage and I put my own in, which is essentially what I'm going to do anyway. But now I got another system that I don't really need. Now, maybe it'll do something else here. I don't know. Let's take it up a little bit higher. See if we have any better luck there. I don't really have the weight I need to get them tires to bite, so I'm kind of trying to use the throttle, and then it gets crazy on you. So, truck looks great. I do have to say, I really like the way it looks. I know some people are off and on with if they like the looks of the truck or whatever. I'm one of the guys that I really like the look of it. Now I got myself in a position that I'm really kind of bound up on that front wheel. See if we can get out of it. Oh, come on. Wow. Okay. Let's go right back at that. That was kind of fun. Oh, got myself caught in the back wheel there. Okay, so let's try some other stuff here. That one right there is going to be really unrealistic. There's no way. I don't even have the width to really try to get up that. But there's a couple other little things I want to try. First off, we're going to try the bridge, because I really like the bridge. I love the way it turned out. So we'll see how good it does on the bridge here. I got a suspicion that it's going to do pretty decent. If I can get up there. Let's try to come over on, there you go. Just got in a section where it was just too small. Now this is where you can really see that crawlability that I'm talking about. I'm not crazy about this ESC choice that they decided to put in here. This is slow crawl right here. Can it do it? Yeah. But you really got to play with the throttle quite a bit. And in stuff like that, you're really going to struggle and do that. That's not exactly what you want. Again, $80 budget, entry-level type truck, I get it. But I would personally, at this level, and I'm coming from an Orlando Hunter owner, which I was really disappointed in those as well. I got a couple trucks that they're okay, but they are something I don't really play with. Just don't really like them too much. I've been thinking over the years about, you know, what I could do to make the one better, and I still haven't come up with anything that's halfway decent. Wow, that went all the way through. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, you got to watch stuff like that too. I wasn't paying attention and too busy jabbering. Let's see if I can do a little bit better. See, if you feather the throttle, you can get it up. It's just, you shouldn't have to do that, man. All these little cheap ESCs that do that, I really dislike. It takes a lot of the fun out. It gets you a little frustrated while you're trying to play. So yeah, we're going to have problems on this bridge here. I'm not going to try to go too much more on that. Let's see what else she can do. Maybe there's some of this other stuff over here that I can get it to do. Try something else that the TRX-4M struggled on. First off, the entry right here, which I do have to say, man, I mean, Redcat really has that part of it down. Sorry, I didn't have that in the frame. They really have that part of it down, because even with the 18, it goes places that you wouldn't think it could go. If they just had a better ESC combo in here, this truck would be so much better. But we can fix all that. I mean, maybe a simple iguana switch or something would work for it. I don't know. We're going to have to try something. Now look, here's the servo I was talking about. See how it doesn't really give you a lot? I want something to give you a little bit more than that. Because when I'm trying to do a hard climb like this, it's really kind of important to me. And actually that did really good right there. I can't really complain. So the clearance on this truck is really good. The flex is okay. I'm going to be working on the flex for sure. And the ESC, obviously I don't really care for that ESC. See if we can get ourselves out of it. Okay. I was thinking we were stuck again in a hole. Now see, this is again what I'm talking about with the steering. I got no way to really wiggle myself around and try to get out of that. Let's see how bad she's really stuck. Not really that bad. Let's try to get that again. Kind of approach at it a little bit faster, I guess. See if that does any better. Okay. Maybe I hit it even faster. Okay, well we got spun around, but we did get up. A lot better anyway. Now we're just stuck in a new hole. Now that's a good way to break your drive shafts and everything else, so I'm not going to continue. I have my finger on the throttle. So what I am going to do, going to come over here, something I know it'll do. Well, I thought it would anyway. Get the tire up on it maybe. Something like this. Give it a little bit of a chance. Now right here is going to be a little bit of a drop for it, which is what I kind of wanted to test. Wanted to see what the drop was like. Alright. We're just going to pretend we got right there. I want to see what the drop is, if it'll hold. Kind of being as easy as I can here. Nope. Okay, so it does have some weight issues. Let's try it one more time just to make sure it's not me. Go real easy again. Kind of nudge it a little bit. then work our steering. Nope. Okay, so it definitely could benefit from some weight, which a lot of these trucks are like that. Even the Ascent 18 was that way. But once you put a little weight on that guy, it was an amazing truck. Which it was pretty good without that. Let's see if we can do anything at all over here. Now again, this is all stock, guys. I haven't done anything at all to it as of yet. Now, I'm going to be doing some stuff to it because it suffers from the typical anemic ESC and servo, which I got to figure out how I can remedy that, because I don't even think they make a servo upgrade. Even an ESC upgrade, I don't think they make that yet. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for this little guy out here. I'm losing more light here. I think that's going to be it for this little guy out here. Did it do good? It did okay. It surprised me on a couple things that I thought that it couldn't do. It actually did. Like the approaches and stuff over there on the side. TRX 4M struggled with that. It doesn't anymore, but it did, you know, in stock form. So that part's good. I really can't stand that whining, non-existing slow crawl. That drives me nuts. I'm going to be changing that. And again, you know, if Redcat would have just released this with, give me the transmission, I don't care, no ESC, no servo, I would have done all that stuff myself. And I probably still would have paid close to that same price, because it's a decent setup. Yeah, I just wish it was a little bit better. I know I'm being overcritical. I know there's probably plenty of people that like these and, you know, think that they're really fantastic. I really like it. I do. But there's things on it that I don't like as well. I'm a little torn. It's not like picking up the regular Ascent, the 10 scale Ascent, or even the 18 scale. Those are pretty much box stock. Those are great. This is not that. I know it's more of an entry level kind of, you know, toy / hobby grade kind of setup, more hobby grade, but it's still kind of a little bit on the toy side. So, having said all that, am I happy with my purchase? Yes, I am. But I'm definitely going to be changing some stuff, and the stuff I'm going to be putting in here, you could probably buy 2 or 3 of these by the time I'm done spending money. So, and I know that's fine. But yeah, just understand that when you get this, that's what you're going to get. You could probably crawl a little bit better, but you really got to feather the throttle, which I don't like doing that. To me, that's just aggravating. I want something that's nice and slow, where I can take my time and enjoy it. A lot of people like that. Some people don't mind that, but you know, little jerky stuff, but not me. So yeah, we're going to be looking at some options here. We'll be doing some decent upgrades to it. So yeah, you guys got any ideas on what we could do, put in here? I'm definitely all ears. If you got any ideas on things that you would put in here, or what might make it better, let me know. In the meantime, we're going to try to tear apart the transmission and stuff and see if there's maybe a gear swap we can do, something like that, to get a little bit better control at that slow crawl. Sometimes you can do that, sometimes you can't. So we'll dive into that in another video, and I appreciate everybody watching so far. Again, you got any ideas? I'm all ears, man. Thanks.